God said to Moses, I'm going to rain bread down from the skies for you. The people will go out and gather each day's ration. I'm going to test them to see if they'll live according to my teaching or not. On the 6th day, when they prepare what they have gathered, it will turn out to be twice as much as their daily ration. Moses and Aaron told the people of Israel, This evening you will know that it is God who brought you out of Egypt, and in the morning you will see the glory of God. Yes, he's listened to your complaints against him. You haven't been complaining against us, you know, but against God. Moses said, Since it will be God who gives you meat for your meal in the evening and your fill of bread in the morning, it's God who will have listened to your complaints against him. Who are we in all this? You haven't been complaining to us. You've been complaining to God. Moses instructed Aaron, Tell the whole company of Israel, come near to God. He's heard your complaints. When Aaron gave out the instructions to the whole company of Israel, they turned to face the wilderness. And there it was, the glory of God visible in the cloud. God spoke to Moses, I've listened to the complaints of the Israelites. Now, tell them, at dusk you will eat meat, and at dawn you'll eat your fill of bread, and you'll realize that I am God, your God. That evening quail flew in and covered the camp, and in the morning there was a layer of dew all over the camp. When the layer of dew had lifted, there on the wilderness ground was a fine flaky something, fine as frost on the ground. The Israelites took one look and said to one another, Manna, what is it? They had no idea what it was. So Moses told them, It's the bread God has given you to eat, and these are God's instructions. Gather enough for each person, about 2 quarts per person. Gather enough for everyone in your tent. The people of Israel went to work and started gathering, some more, some less, but when they measured out what they had gathered, those who gathered more had no extra, and those who gathered less weren't short. Each person had gathered as much as was needed. Moses said to them, Don't leave any of it until morning. They didn't listen to Moses. A few of the men kept back some of it until morning. It got wormy and smelled bad, and Moses lost his temper with them. They gathered it every morning, each person according to need. Then the sun heated up and it melted. On the 6th day, they gathered twice as much bread, about 4 quarts per person. Then the leaders of the company came to Moses and reported. Moses said, This is what God was talking about. Tomorrow is a day of rest, a holy Sabbath to God. Whatever you plan to bake, bake today, and whatever you plan to boil, boil today. Then set aside the leftovers until morning. They set aside what was left until morning, as Moses had commanded. It didn't smell bad, and there were no worms in it. Moses said, Now eat it. This is the day, a Sabbath for God. You won't find any of it on the ground today. Gather it every day for 6 days, but the 7th day is Sabbath. There won't be any of it on the ground. On the 7th day, some of the people went out to gather anyway, but they didn't find anything. God said to Moses, How long are you going to disobey my commands and not follow my instructions? Don't you see that God has given you the Sabbath? So on the 6th day, he gives you bread for 2 days. So each of you, stay home. Don't leave home on the 7th day. So the Israelites quit working on the 7th day. The Israelites named it manna. What is it? It looked like coriander seed, whitish, and it tasted like a cracker with honey. Moses said, This is God's command. Keep a 2-quart jar of it, an omer, for future generations, so they can see the bread that I fed you in the wilderness after I brought you out of Egypt. Moses told Aaron, Take a jar and fill it with 2 quarts of manna. Place it before God, keeping it safe for future generations. Aaron did what God commanded Moses. He set it aside before the testimony to preserve it. The Israelites ate the manna for 40 years until they arrived at the land where they would settle down. They ate manna until they reached the border into Canaan. According to ancient measurements, an omer is 1/10 of an ephah. Chapter 17. Directed by God, the whole company of Israel moved on by stages from the wilderness of Sin. They set up camp at Rephidim, and there wasn't a drop of water for the people to drink. The people took Moses to task. Give us water to drink. But Moses said, Why pester me? Why are you testing God? But the people were thirsty for water there. They complained to Moses, Why did you take us from Egypt and drag us out here with our children and animals to die of thirst? Moses cried out in prayer to God. What can I do with these people? Any minute now they'll kill me. God said to Moses, go on out ahead of the people, taking with you some of the elders of Israel. Take the staff you used to strike the Nile, and go. I'm going to be present before you there on the rock at Horeb. You are to strike the rock. Water will gush out of it, and the people will drink. Moses did what he said, with the elders of Israel right there watching. He named the place Massa, testing place, and Meribah, quarreling, because of the quarreling of the Israelites and because of their testing of God when they said, is God here with us or not? When the people realized that Moses was taking forever in coming down off the mountain, they rallied around Aaron and said, do something. Make gods for us who will lead us. That Moses, the man who got us out of Egypt, who knows what's happened to him? So Aaron told them, take off the gold rings from the ears of your wives and sons and daughters and bring them to me. They all did it. They removed the gold rings from their ears and brought them to Aaron. He took the gold from their hands and cast it in the form of a calf, shaping it with an engraving tool. The people responded with enthusiasm. These are your gods, O Israel, who brought you up from Egypt. Aaron, taking in the situation, built an altar before the calf. Aaron then announced, tomorrow is a feast day to God. Early the next morning, the people got up and offered whole burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. The people sat down to eat and drink and then began to party. It turned into a wild party. God spoke to Moses, go, get down there. Your people whom you brought up from the land of Egypt have fallen to pieces. In no time at all, they've turned away from the way I commanded them. They made a molten calf and worshipped it. They've sacrificed to it and said, these are the gods, O Israel, that brought you up from the land of Egypt. God said to Moses, I look at this people. Oh, what a stubborn, hard-headed people. Let me alone now. Give my anger free rein to burst into flames and incinerate them, but I'll make a great nation out of you. Moses tried to calm his God down. He said, why, God, would you lose your temper with your people? Why, you brought them out of Egypt in a tremendous demonstration of power and strength. Why let the Egyptians say he had it in for them? He brought them out so he could kill them in the mountains, wipe them right off the face of the earth. Stop your anger. Think twice about bringing evil against your people. Think of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, your servants to whom you gave your word, telling them, I will give you many children, as many as the stars in the sky, and I'll give this land to your children as their land forever. And God did think twice. He decided not to do the evil he had threatened against his people. Moses turned around and came down from the mountain, carrying the 2 tablets of the testimony. The tablets were written on both sides, front and back. God made the tablets, and God wrote the tablets, engraved them. When Joshua heard the sound of the people shouting noisily, he said to Moses, that's the sound of war in the camp. But Moses said, those aren't songs of victory, and those aren't songs of defeat. I hear songs of people throwing a party. And that's what it was. When Moses came near to the camp and saw the calf and the people dancing, his anger flared. He threw down the tablets and smashed them to pieces at the foot of the mountain. He took the calf that they had made, melted it down with fire, pulverized it to powder, then scattered it on the water and made the Israelites drink it. Moses said to Aaron, what on earth did these people ever do to you that you involved them in this huge sin? Aaron said, Master, don't be angry. You know this people and how set on evil they are. They said to me, make us gods who will lead us. This Moses, the man who brought us out of Egypt, we don't know what's happened to him. So I said, who has gold? And they took off their jewelry and gave it to me. I threw it in the fire, and out came this calf. Moses saw that the people were simply running wild. Aaron had let them run wild, disgracing themselves before their enemies. He took up a position at the entrance to the camp and said, whoever is on God's side, join me. All the Levites stepped up. He then told them, God's orders, the God of Israel. Strap on your swords and go to work. Crisscross the camp from one end to the other. Kill brother, friend, neighbor. The Levites carried out Moses' orders. 3,000 of the people were killed that day. Moses said, You confirmed your ordination today, and at great cost, even killing your sons and brothers, and God has blessed you." The next day Moses addressed the people. "You have sinned an enormous sin, but I'm going to go up to God. Maybe I'll be able to clear you of your sin." Moses went back to God and said, "This is terrible. This people has sinned. It's an enormous sin. They made gods of gold for themselves. And now, if you will only forgive their sin, but if not, erase me out of the book you've written." God said to Moses, "I'll only erase from my book those who sin against me. For right now, you go and lead the people to where I told you. Look, my angel is going ahead of you. On the day, though, when I settle accounts, their sins will certainly be part of the settlement." God sent a plague on the people because of the calf they and Aaron had made.